Scott Engerson, how are you, Scott? Said, it's hard to have faith in FSG. Yes, it is. But we've gone through 2 windows now without spending money. And I mean net spending money. We've made a profit. So that's a whole year of no outlay. A whole year of no big contract extensions pretty much as well. And we still have the wiggle room from the Adrian San Miguel, Thiago Alcantara and Joel Matip contracts that were ended. So there's no denying the wiggle room and the financial ability is there. We also will have, a good Champions League campaign here where we've already raked in a load of dough from that. Who knows how far we'll go in it. We're odds on to go and win the Premier League this year, and that will bring in increased revenue and opportunities as well. The 3 stripes are back. So who knows? Who knows? I'm more concerned, as I've said all the way through, about the contracts right now. Because the summer we can't do anything about. You can line up deals or talk to players, but right now we have 3 big contracts and they should be the focus, because today, as an example, Jamal Musiala agreed a new deal with Bayern Munich. So that means that they've agreed deals with Neuer, Alphonso Davies and Jamal Musiala. But yet Liverpool and our recruitment team, still no contract extensions. So this deal here, Fabrizio Romano said, breaking, Jamal Musiala signs a new deal at FC Bayern until June 2030. After long negotiations, Musiala signs a new contract at the club following Manuel Neuer and Alphonso Davies. Huge news for the Bayern project. And of course it is huge news because he's a well sought after forward who is doing incredible things. So why can't we get some of that done? And I think we're perfectly within our rights at this point to ask that. But Rami Abbas Issa has he said hello as well today, hasn't he? Rami Abbas Issa, Mohamed Salah's representative, put up a short but very interesting post today. So Empire of the Cop posted that we're 7 points clear, there's a title to be won, with an image of Arne Slot. And then Rami Abbas Issa quote tweeted this saying, excellent at his job. So he's clearly a fan of the work being done by Arne Slot. I mean, why wouldn't he be? Look at the impact Mohamed Salah has had since Arne has come in and the sheer volume of goals and assists that Mo's putting up. So I'm taking this as a positive sign, ladies and gentlemen, because, the representative of our superstar is saying that the manager that's in there now is very good at his job, which excellent, actually, at his job. So I'll take that as a win. Who do you want as a Salah successor? I don't want Mo to go for at least 2 years. And in that 2 years, I hope that we can figure out who that is. Now, there are players I like Nico Williams. It depends what happens with Diaz as well. Because if Diaz moved on, well, Williams could come in and battle Gakpo on the left side. And then we could look at something else on the right side. So there's a lot of if, buts and maybes at the minute. But I don't know. I've just, probably the same as everybody else, I felt a little surge of optimism around Mo and Virgil over the past few days. I don't know if I'm being kind of nostalgic when I see the stuff going up around Anfield, which is just to do with more of the club's marketing side of things. But, you see them front and centre. You see them playing with a smile on their face on the pitch. You know how important they are to the team and the squad. You know that both of them want to stay. I even said yesterday when there was reports that Rami Abbas Issa was speaking with Real Madrid, Barcelona and other clubs. I totally understand that because he has to. He'd be failing his client if he didn't. You can't just say, well, we're not going to look at anything and then last minute Liverpool can't agree a deal and he has to go and find a move for his player. So he has to look at every eventuality. I'm sure Virgil's agent's doing the same. And Trent, well, we know what Trent's options are in front of him. So, I think it's entirely professional of Rami Abbas to do that. But I do feel that the priority is still going to be with Liverpool. Did you see the interview of Rafa on Sky about the 3 contracts? I did, Guilherme. I did, mate. And he said he doesn't expect all 3 to get sorted. And he was talking about it, I think, more from the financial side of the club rather than the players maybe wanting to stay or not. But I did see it, and like yourself, mate, I found it very interesting that Rafa was not expecting all 3 to be renewed. I'm worried about Salah, Virgil and Trent. FSG can't even re-sign current players. Look, I know, man. I know. It's Not great. I'm not going to try and say anything to the contrary. It's embarrassing. I think 2 of those 3 are in the club's hands, and the Trent one, again, I think he just needs to make up his mind. And look, I'm getting a little bit fed up of all the pro-Trent media saying that he's been incredibly loyal to the club, blah, blah, blah. I've not heard him say he wants to stay once. Simple as that with me. You can talk about the financial side of it, that's no problem. Yes, you've got to get the best deal you can, but come out and say you want to stay if you want to stay, or come out and say you're leaving if you're leaving. But either way, give the fans something. Silence isn't helping. How do we know we will sort out any future contracts? I mean, look, we don't, man. It's as simple as that, Scott. All of this is a leap of faith from us as fans. Always is. I've always thought that this contract situation is a dark cloud hovering over what looks to be a tremendous season. And it's a problem that can be resolved. And I don't care how many Liverpool employees sit in front of a camera and tell us that it's not a problem and it's not a distraction. I'd call them bullshit. Of course it's a distraction. Mohamed Salah has come out and said it's in his head. Trent is humming and hawing because he doesn't know what to do. Virgil van Dijk's putting in tremendous displays as a captain, wants to stay, and they haven't sorted it. It's an embarrassment. The club should be ashamed of themselves, in my opinion, here. Because it's not befitting of the club. These guys have been standard bearers and have helped Liverpool get to the top of the mountain. And they're still performing at a really, really high level. To not get these contracts done and to drag it out as long as they have, I just think doesn't look great. And people can say, yeah, they have to get a deal and finances that work for the club. But this isn't a surprise to anyone. You know, this was priority number 1 in Richard Hughes' inbox, as written by every journalist out there. And here we are now in February, and he hasn't done one of them. That's an abject failure. Unless they don't want to renew them. In which case, everyone's being hoodwinked. So something stinks in all of this, whether it's the cheapness of FSG, whether it's the incompetence of Hughes and Edwards, whether it's the greed of the players or the agents, whatever it is, it's dragged on long enough that it needs a resolution. Has to. I haven't been able to enjoy this season because all I've been thinking about is the contracts. Because my fear is you win a league title this year, and that's brilliant. We all celebrate it. We all enjoy it. But if the lads aren't renewed, I don't think there's any hope in hell we retain that league title next year. If you lost Trent, Virgil and Mo and had to change our goalkeeper department as well and had to go try to replace these lads as well as the other positions we need filling, there's not one fibre of my body thinks that we'll be able to challenge to win that Premier League again next year. Because it's too much for Arne Slot. There'll be too much change. There'll be too many new faces. And there'll be a load of change. So, to me, as a fan, the sensible play is to renew them for 2 years and use that 2 years to start finding the successors to come in after them. It's just... It shouldn't have to be this fucking tiring to support Liverpool Football Club. We shouldn't have to constantly be grateful for scraps off the table when the club's raking in cash. Honestly, it's embarrassing. It just is. And you wonder, what are these lads doing? What are they doing to justify their existence at the club? Like, truthfully, what have Edwards and Hughes done since they've come back? Yes, we got brought in Arne Slot, and that's amazing. But they've not renewed any of the 3 contracts. They've not got Ibu done. They've signed absolutely fucking no one. They brought in a cheap Chiesa as an opportunistic signing and a goalkeeper that will basically be the cover for when Kelleher goes and hasn't even been available this season too as he's out on loan. That's it. That's what they've done. And everything else is just media and journalists spin, trying to make them out to be superstars, working their ass off behind the scenes. They have done nothing. That's it. Nothing. All of the hypothetical shit about what might happen in the summer, that they have plans A, B, C and D, all of it means nothing to Liverpool fans at the minute. Because you're not doing what needs to be done in the here and now, which is renewing the contracts of the players or telling fans 100% you don't want to renew them. But stop manipulating everyone. And the journalists need to grow a backbone. We get it. You're all afraid to have your access taken away. Then don't pretend to be a journalist. Just like Mo Chatra said, just accept that you are nothing other than an extension of the club's PR team and be done with it. Because nobody's happy with this. And no amount of nonsense in the Echo or from any other journalist is going to make any Liverpool fan feel less annoyed by this situation. So stand up, grow a pair, do your damn jobs, or don't complain when the rest of us call you out over it. Because you have a position, you have a platform, and you choose not to use it. You choose to do the club's bidding. You choose to be cowards. Simple as that. Don't like it, don't care. Tough shit. That's a fact. Cowards. All of you. Each and every fucking one of you. Cowards. Did I say cowards enough? Because I'm going to say cowards again. All of them. Anybody associated with covering our football club has no backbone except to the owners. That's it. They bow down to the owners, kiss the owners' arse, and just accept any shit without standing up for the fans. The people that actually pay for you to have a job, that buy the subscriptions to your sites, that pay for the newspapers you work for. How about treating those with respect and not manipulating and filling them full of bullshit that the club wants you to put out there? Grow a pair and say it like it is, or stop calling yourself journalists. I think we're at war with them. I think fans and fan content are at war with journalists. And I'm not talking about the Miguel Delaney's of this world, journalists that broadly cover football and do a fine job, because there are some great journalists out there. I'm talking about the old reliables, the ones who are professing to cover our club but don't cover it. They're just PR. That's it. You know, tell me I'm wrong. Show me one dissenting voice. One person pushing back against the club narrative in a press conference. Just one. There isn't. They don't exist.